There is a quiet life that unfolds behind closed doors, a life most people never see. It is the soft rhythm of a room warmed by familiarity, the gentle hum of one's thoughts, the calm stability of a world that feels safe, predictable, and honest. Some people don't avoid the outside world, they simply breathe better in their own space. Crowds drain them, noise overwhelms them, conversations feel heavier than silence, so they return to the one place where nothing demands performance, where they can simply exist. This preference is not laziness or fear, it is how their mind restores itself, how their inner world holds more meaning than any social stage. These are the people who prefer staying home. Home softens the world. Inside familiar walls, the air feels gentler, light falls honestly, and life's noise becomes manageable. For those who prefer staying home, this quiet is not escape, it's a return to themselves, to a life that asks for nothing more than presence. The outside world often feels like a stage, bright lights, moving crowds, shifting personalities, invisible expectations. Home, in contrast, requires no performance, no timeline, no pressure, just the slow, steady rhythm of one's own existence. Psychologically, homebodies are not rejecting life, they are conserving energy. Their nervous systems absorb every shift in tone, every subtle signal, every unspoken expectation. Outside, this creates exhaustion. Inside, it becomes a refuge. Routine offers comfort others may not understand. The same chair, the same quiet corner, the same morning ritual. These repeated patterns reduce mental strain, letting the mind breathe. Within these walls, attention can settle on small details often overlooked. The way light moves across the floor, the softness of blankets, the scent of a space that belongs entirely to them. These sensory anchors ground them in the present, providing clarity and calm. Homebodies feel deeply but quietly. Their inner lives are layered with thought, imagination, and reflection. Solitude allows emotions to surface gently, without interruption or judgment. Crowds may drain their energy, not because they dislike people, but because connection requires energy. Energy they give when truly ready. In stillness, they thrive. Thoughts clear, breathing deepens, emotions unfold. Home is not a retreat from life. It is the space where life feels truest, softest, and most sincere. Every preference has an origin. For many, it begins in childhood. Heightened sensitivity to noise, crowds, or rapid social interaction. While other children ran freely, they lingered, observing, absorbing, processing. Their inner world was rich, their outer behavior quiet. High sensory sensitivity is often innate. These children notice tone shifts, micro-expressions, and emotional undercurrents with precision. The outside world can feel overwhelming. Home offers relief. A room, a corner, a familiar environment becomes a sanctuary where emotions settle rather than scatter. Other roots lie in experience. A stable, safe home amid an unpredictable world leaves a strong imprint. Home becomes more than comfort. It becomes instinctive refuge. Similarly, children with rich inner lives, books, stories, imaginative play, learn that home is a gateway to creativity. Solitude fosters exploration, thought, and growth in ways the outside world cannot. Repeated exposure to peace and quiet reinforces this preference. The brain loves patterns, and solitude becomes a learned source of healing and energy. Early recognition that social interaction is demanding leads to adult habits favoring meaningful, slow interactions over frequent, shallow ones. For homebodies, staying in is rarely about isolation. It is about alignment, where the nervous system regulates naturally, emotions flow at their own pace, and thoughts can breathe. These early patterns form a quiet pull toward home, rooted in temperament, memory, and the universal human need to feel safe, understood, and whole. Solitude shapes the mind. Homebodies grow attuned to subtle cues in their environment, light, sound, textures, rhythms of their own breath. Yet this adaptation carries tension, heightened sensitivity to the social world outside, a private theatre of internal dialogue, oscillating between longing for connection and fear of discomfort. Emotions are deeply felt but self-regulated. Joy is savoured privately, anxiety is processed internally. Social engagement becomes a calculated choice, balancing desire with energy. Invitations are weighed carefully, every interaction negotiated silently. Yet this sensitivity brings insight. Observing from the periphery fosters acute awareness of human dynamics. They notice subtle motives, inconsistencies, and performative behaviours others overlook. This awareness enriches perception while reinforcing the draw toward home time flows differently. Days are measured by internal rhythms, routines, and projects rather than social anchors. Stillness feels expansive. Brief social encounters, dense memory and attention, favour introspection and environment over fleeting social details. Home becomes a canvas where the mind negotiates freedom and restraint, solitude and yearning, awareness and hesitation, safety and insight flourish, yet every step outside carries possibility and apprehension. Understanding this tension reveals depth, not deficiency, in their experience. Change arrives softly. Observation in solitude brings awareness, noticing thoughts, habits, emotional patterns without judgment. Protective mechanisms, hesitation, internal dialogue, oscillation between engagement and retreat are recognized as adaptations, not flaws. Healing emerges in small gestures, lingering on thought without self-criticism, opening a window, listening without reaction. These moments cultivate quiet confidence, showing that connection need not overwhelm and solitude need not confine. Integration follows naturally. Inner and outer worlds converse. Reflection informs social engagement. Experience reinforces self-understanding. Invitations are approached with discernment. Interactions with openness tempered by self-knowledge. Home remains sanctuary, but no longer a fortress. The world outside is another space for exploration, gently, on their own terms. Connection becomes meaningful, measured by authenticity rather than frequency. Solitude nurtures insight. Engagement nurtures empathy. Together, they create a life internally rich and externally resonant. The preference for staying home is not limitation but sophistication. It reflects introspection, adaptation, and quiet resilience. Solitude and connection are companions, not opposites. In this careful balance emerges a life both contemplative and fully lived.